There's a book which I think is an extremely important book that's worth reading for anybody that wants to understand the age. It's called The Reign of Quantity by René Guénon. It's a really, really fascinating book, but I think he really gets to the heart of it, that the world, the Enlightenment project it begins really with a kind of, I mean, even just before that, if you look at Bacon, Francis Bacon, he said we must put nature to the rack, like torture it to get its secrets. And he actually uses the word rape also. And so there's this kind of violent European sickness and I don't like to collectivize because there's many great things about Europe and things that we should benefit from and things like that. So I don't want to, there's a lot of people, everything came from Europe is evil. Well, it's just not true. The Europeans did a lot of good things as well. And they were the ones, the British, in fact, were the ones that really eliminated slavery. The Muslims didn't do it. I wish we did. I really wish we had that badge of honor. But it was the British, and they spent a lot of money doing it too. So, but the Europeans had a kind of rapaciousness that is very unusual, and they wanted to understand. And I think the Prophet ﷺ, I believe this, that when he said لو كان العلم بالثريا لناله رجال من هذا وأشار إلى سلمان, in a riwayah, sometimes he said Salman's people. I really think it's these Indo-European peoples are very obsessed with knowledge in a way that other peoples don't have the same obsessions. They want to understand everything, they want to know everything. And the fact that the Prophet used space exploration for that is just really fascinating to me, because they'll even try to get to outer space. Like, if you ask most people in most places, like, do you think we should go to outer space? They're like, what? You crazy? Like, why? Mauritanians don't even traditionally swim in the ocean. They think you're crazy to go into the ocean, because it's meant to give you lots of awe, right? So they're not going to swim in the ocean for fun. And then when the shark bites you, well, of course, what did you think? It's an ocean, right? So they wanted to measure everything. They became obsessed with measurement, and they developed a science that is so fascinating, which is, and it was interesting that it was the British and the Germans that developed it simultaneously, which is the calculus, which enabled them to do things that nobody before could really do. Calculus has really given an immense amount of power. And it's interesting that the word for measurement and power are the same in Arabic. So qudra and qadar, yuqaddiru, to measure something. So calculus is the ultimate measuring tool. And the infinitesimals, which the Catholic Church tried to outlaw the study of, became an obsession. And so it's been so powerful as a tool, and it's enabled a kind of world that is very different from the previous worlds. And so now STEM is everything. They're just obsessed with STEM, engineers. It's interesting that Imam Nabrasi, in his book on dreams, he says, if you see an engineer in the dream, it means kharab al-umran wa umran al-kharab, the destruction of civilization and the civilization of destruction. So quantity is important. It's one of the 10, as you know, the maqulats, right? Those 10, Zayd al-Tawil al-Azraq ibn Maliki, bil-amsi kana fi bayti muttaki, بيده غصن لواه فالتوى تلك مقولات العشرة سوايا. The Zayd is the substance, right? And then Tawil that's the quantity. And then Azraq, black, is the quality. So colors are qualitative, they're not quantitative. We can measure the red, the amount of red in the carpet, but we can't measure the experience of red. That's not measurable. And so beauty is qualitative. It's something that can't be measured. We can't measure the beauty of the Taj Mahal. We can't measure the beauty of a perfectly calligraphed work of art, or the beauty of a voice reciting the Quran impeccably. We can't measure that. We can only experience it. And so there's just been an obsession with quantity for quite some time in our civilization, and we've lost quality. And the qualitative arts are the trivium. The quantitative arts are the quadrivium. I mean, they've extended the quadrivium, but calculus is still based on arithmetic and geometry. Geometry is, algebra is an extension of geometry. And they're just extensions of the same basic things, which is number, discrete number, and then number in space. So, you know, differential and integral, you're measuring the rates of acceleration, right? As opposed to averages, which is what people had to do before Newton. You could measure the average rate of the fall of the apple from the tree, but you couldn't see the rate of acceleration at each point. That's what calculus enabled, the rate of acceleration. So, and that's enabled all these things that skyscrapers and things like that, building up, knowing the exact amount of tension, the torque, and all these things that engineers are able to do. I mean, it's amazing, and it's remarkable things, and they're great achievements. But we've lost quality, and so that's part of what I think. And character is qualitative. The character of a person is qualitative. You can measure how much they gave you, but the character of giving, that's something that's not really measurable. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. I really hope people are inspired to help what we're doing here for people online. May Allah bless all of you, give you the blessing of this night, increase you, elevate you, give you lots of openings. Inshallah, may Allah accept your prayers and your fasting. اللهم تقبل منا صيامنا وقيامنا واحشرنا في زمرة خير الأنام. اللهم أحينا مؤمنين وأمتنا مسلمين محسنين طائعين لك يا رب العالمين لا مبدلين ولا مغيرين يا الله يا رب العالمين. الحمد لله.